Hi and welcome back to Module 7, Organic Chemistry, and our last inquiry question 7. What are the properties and uses of polymers? Today we are going to look at polystyrene, a very common product that we see around the place, used in as insulators, in eskies, used in packaging, also in our coffee cups and so on. And we're going to have a look at what properties they have and how that affects their uses. Now, again, looking here, it's really important that we look at when modelling the structure and comparing the structure of all of these different ones, their structure, their properties, and their uses. And again, they are all addition polymers that we're looking at here. So let's get into it. So, polystyrene. Here's the shape of polystyrene. You can see there a shape that's got a circle. That circle there is representative of the benzene ring. They can also be known as a group called the aromatics, often because they have a signature smell. And so you can see in polystyrene here, we have the benzene ring. Again, plenty of double bonds there, but off that benzene ring, we then have that ethene molecule in its sort of basic structure just off the side there. So this benzene ring dominates quite a bit when we're looking at its structure. Now, having that benzene ring actually allows scientists or the manufacturing process to blow gas into them. So by blowing gas into them is then looking at changing its application, because we're now adding air into it. It's making it lighter and moldable. So we're looking here at the product. When we look at the polymerization, so this one here in this first picture here is our monomer. And when we look again in this bottom picture down here, you can see the CH2 coming from this part here, and then we're looking at our benzene ring attaching off. So we've got the CH2, we've got the CH, and then the benzene ring here. We've got the CH2, the CH, and the benzene ring attached. Again, having that bracket with the N is the conventional way of showing that it's a polymer, and N represents how many times it may be copied or added on, given it's an addition reaction. So if we have a look here again in our picture, we see the same repeating pattern. We've got the CH2, the CH with the bond, the CH2, the CH with the bond. And again, by breaking that double bond, we are allowing that bond to open up and have more things attached to it there. Now, interestingly, with polystyrene, it can have a number of different properties, and many of them you probably won't even think of as them being polystyrene. So, for example, we all know about polystyrene with our bean bags, our cups, and we know they're good insulators, they're soft and fluffy. Well, that's the type where we've had our gas blown into them. But we can actually see polystyrene being used in our CD cases, where they're quite transparent, hard, and brittle, yet that is also polystyrene. So just by blowing that gas in there does change its applications. So depending on what property we have, whether it has had gas in there or not, it can be brittle. In general, it's lightweight, a good insulator there. It's rigid, it can be transparent, particularly if you're thinking of our CD cases and so on. Lower density, fairly durable, and again, it can be easily molded into a variety of different shapes. We will look into this a little bit further when we go into it in class a little. But it's interesting to note, looking at the formula there, the large groups also prevent that polymer chain from packing in neatly and packing in tightly. So that then restricts the ability for it to be flopping around, more flexible. It tends to be hard, it tends to be clear, and it tends to be brittle. It can be softened when we heat them. So if we heat them, they will soften. But then as soon as they cool again, they will become rigid a little bit further. What I'd like you to do is have a look through your textbook on the polystyrene unit, combined with this video, and go in and fill the table in the back of your booklet where you are comparing then all your structures, properties and uses. And we'll talk about doing some of these questions and answering those ones in the back of your book. We'll talk then. Bye.